Hi all, in the last session we have seen how do we declare a class and how do we initialize functions and variables under private and public labels. Now the important question is how do we get access to these variables outside the class? In the coding section I will make it more clear, and let's move on to the coding section.
Hi all, welcome to the coding section. I will show you how to create an object and access its variables. It is important to remember that when you create an object from a class, the compiler allocates memory for all the private and public members. Without creating an object, the class remains just a blueprint. No memory is allocated and nothing is going to happen. Okay, so we can initialize, we can create object in either stack memory or in heap memory. I will make a separate session for stack and heap memory. So for the time being, please do understand stack memory is well organized and structured. It supports smaller files, but heap memory is unorganized and unstructured. It supports larger files. Okay, and when we create object in stack memory, memory allocation is automatically happened. When we declare a functions and a variable, compiler itself create memory. But in heap memory, we explicitly mention memory allocation through the keyword new and deallocation through the keyword delete. So I will show you the object creation in both the scenario. Let's start with the object creation in stack memory. To create an object, first we must write the class name. So here the class name is patient data info, then put a space, then you can give any name. I have chosen obj1. I have put obj1. Now I will show you how to call members to this object. Put a dot operator. Now you can see the available elements listed in the object. See, like data intensity, data post processing, data pre-processing, and the variables like dimension, image, modality, and size. I'll show you one of the function that I'm going to call. I have selected data pre-processing. Before going to compile, let's see what is inside this data pre-processing step. So this is the data pre-processing step function. I have put two sentences like data pre-processing started, and one of the sentences to out dimension. I haven't initialized dimension, but let's see the compiler output now. So this is the result, compiler output. Data processing started, and here the size of the image is a garbage value. Since we haven't initialized any value, the compiler result a garbage value. So let's see the result after initializing the variable. So type the object name, then put a dot operator, and the select dimension. I'm initializing with the 3. Actually, we can do this kind of initialization in the class itself. So it comes under constructor. I will make a separate session for constructors. So now for the time being, let's see the output. Okay, now the output. Now the size of the image is 3. We have initialized the variable with the 3. Now I'll show you the object creation in the heap memory. To create object in heap memory, type the class name, put the symbol, you can give any name. I choose this name. Then while creating object in heap memory, actually we are telling the compiler to reserve a particular amount of memory to allocate all the variables for private and public variables. So we must use a keyword like this new, then again put the class name. Now we have created object in the heap memory. Now I'll show you the memory allocation in both the stack and heap for the obj1 and the obj2. So put the compiler in the debug mode. Okay, now you can see the watch window here. If it is not visible, go to debug. In the window, select watch. From the watch, select watch 1. After executing this line 66, we will get the exact memory allocated. Okay, So this is our exact memory allocated for obj2. So inside the memory, we can see the variable name, age, sex, grade, tumor, image size, dimension, modality, etc. So what I'm trying to convey is that whether it is a private or public, once we initialize object, the compiler automatically reserve memory. Okay. For the object one, I mean in the stock memory also, the compiler reserves memory space. So please to remember, even though compiler allocates memory for all the variables, we cannot access the private members through the object. In the next session, I will tell you how to get access to the private members through encapsulation. Okay, let's see how to get access to members through this object in heap memory. So type obj2. Instead of the dot operator, put the symbol. Okay, now you can see all the available public members under this object 2. You can call anything. Now I'm going to call this data intensity modification function. So inside the data intensity modification, so this is the function, I mean the function declaration. So this is what I have mentioned inside this data intensity modification function. It is a print statement. So let's see what is the output. Okay, intensity modification. So this is the compiler output. This is the expected output intensity modification started.
Okay, so far we have seen how the private members are protected or encapsulated inside the class. It is known as encapsulation. It is one of the important properties of object-oriented programming language. And also we have seen how the public members are accessed through the creation of object. So in the later on section, I will tell you how to get access to the private members through various methods. So please stay tuned on.